Hello friend, welcome back. In this video I want to do when you click in particular some of the ID here I have before I use one of the carousel, right? When you click it, this product related that is one of the menu item, this item details will be loaded in our right place. Okay, that means here that is I have already loaded another div, so in here that will be loaded. How can do this work? So for doing this we have to do simply understand it's very easy all that process. Like that is our menu, right? Into this menu I have already get all that our dishes, right? And after that I want to declare another property as a whatever the name actually choose. Right now I name it as a selected dish. Okay, selected dish. So this selected dish, for the first time I want to make it as a null. Okay, so that is one of the property I name it as a selected dish, and this property value I pass for the first time that will be as a null. Okay friend, and now I want to do after that I want to create one of the function. Okay, I name it as a on dish select. This type of one of the function I simply create, and here that will be on the array function. I simply loaded this array function. Great. So this array function area here we have to pass all that our dish data. Right here that is all should be one of the parameter. I simply pass one of the parameter as a name is as a dish. Okay, I name it as a dish. So after that here I want to do here when that will be get all that our dish data, then I want to change our this property value that will be different. Okay, so here if you want to do that work, then you have to do I want to do until that will be as a this and into the set states method, because with this set states method we are able to change our say states any property value data, right? So that is one of the property I name it as a select dish. So with this set states method here after that that is our set selected dish, this will be our dish. Okay, so that is the our parameter. Here I simply pass this our all the dish data. Dish data means what? Dish data means that is our all that object data. Okay, here I simply name it with the dish, whatever the name actually choose. This data will be set in here. That means it will be set in our this property, right? And now I want to do here after this also we have to pass our this dish data. That means here we have to pass it in our menu item, right? I want to do that is our menu item, right? So into this menu item also I have added one of the carousel. So this method that I have already created on the method as a on dish select. Here also we have to pass it in our menu item, right? Because here we have to use one of the on click function. So better I want to do here after this I name, better I put another with the another line. Okay, and then that will be easy. So I take another property name as a dish. Okay, dish select. So I name that as a dish select, and this dish select will be, and this one will be our that is our method, right? So that is our method as a on dish select. So here if you want to access it, we have to access it with the this. So I want to pass it with the this, and then that will be as a on dish select. So here I simply pass it right now our this menu item area, right? That is a menu item component. So now we are able to access our this props data as a dish select, right? So here with this property I pass that our all that set state, so it will be changed it for the first time, that will be as a null. When it will be get that dish, then that will be loaded. Great. So here I simply pass it in our menu item. Into the menu item area I pass our which things, I pass that our method, right? I have already discussed about that things with you, how can pass some of the method with the props. Now I want to access it in our menu item, and into this menu item that is our card. Here I have already added on the link, right? After this we have to get it. So I name one of the on click events, so that will be the on click, and this on click area here I want to access it. So that will be, so first time that will be the props, right? Into the props area after that we have to name it. I name our props name property name as a dish select. Just simply understand, very easy process. So that I name it as a dish select, I pass it in our menu item. So into the menu item with this props, now I want to access our this method name as a dish select. Great. And also they have that is one of the method, right? Into this method there are one of the parameter I have declared as a dish, right? Also now we have to take it. So after that method, so into this method area I want to access our dish parameter as a dish. So if you want to access it, again we have to use that as a props. So that is a props, then our parameter name as a dish, right? So I simply loaded this dish. Okay friend, I hope it's very much clear to you. So that is our on click. Better I make it into the another line. So that is our on click. Into this on clicks, that is our props, and that is our method name. And into this method, so that is here I pass that name with this, right? For the reasons here I name it as a props and then our method. Great. So in particular this method area, they have also one of the parameter. So now we have to also access this parameter. So we have to access this parameter with the props, and then there is a dish, right? So now that will be here. If you want to loaded this, that means if you want to add that our on click event data, here also we have to use one of the function, array function. So I simply loaded one of the array function. That means that will be one of the function. So right now that will be executed. Okay friends, so here I simply loaded that things in here. Right now if you click as on click, then our method will be executed. If we get any data, then that will be change our state property. Before by default that will be as a null, rather than that will be as a dish all the data. Great, perfect. So here we successfully done one part, and now I have to map this data also, because when you click it, some of the data should be loaded in here, right? A specific this ID related data will be loaded. So for the reasons I want to do, that is our return. Okay, into the return, and here that is our another div. Here I want to do and to actually load this. So for the reasons after that, into the render before this return, here I want to do put one of the condition. Okay, here for the first time I take one of the variable and I just name it as a dish details. And dish detail. So for the first time I also want to do and to make it as a null, and then I have to put one of the condition. I want to put this condition when for the first time that will be as a null. So when that will be as a not null. Not null means they have some of the data, and this data I want to visible it in here. Okay friend, I hope it's very clear to you. So that is our selected dish, right? I want to put one of the condition. I want to put this condition in here, that is that if you want to access this our property, then that will be this and is state, and then our property name as a selected dish, right? When that will be the not equal null. Not equal null means what? Not equal null means they have some of the data, right? So here when that will be the null equal null, I want to simply load another component. Okay, I want to load another component. So better I name it as a dish. Okay, dish details. I name it as a dish details. So this dish details will be here. I want to create another component for this. So into this body I want to create another new component, and I just name it as a dish details. Okay, dish and then details. Okay, dish details or detail, whatever you choose. I name it as a DishDetail.jsx. Okay, so that will be one of the component as a DishDetails.jsx. Great. And I want to use one of the functional components. So better I copy it and here I paste it. So that will be as a dish details. Okay, dish detail. And also want to use it, I export it as a dish detail. We don't need this navigation. I simply close it. Okay, so simply I created one of the array function. I hope you already know about it. Now click the save all, and now if you go to the menu and into this dish details, here right now I want to pass it. Okay, so I simply loaded our this component as a dish details, as a dish and then details. So you can see there is another component. I simply loaded this component and I close this component, and also make that sure this component is loaded successfully. You can see it's inputted this component successfully. Great. So now I simply loaded this component, and here I want to pass by the name. I name it as a dish. Okay, I name it as a dish, and this will be our which data. That will be all that our data. I have already take it in the same. Okay, that is a property as a dish selected dish. So I want to I simply pass it with the this, and then that is in our state, into the C state, our property name as a selected disk. Okay, I simply pass this data in here. So right now everything I take it in with the dish details. So now I want to display these dish details, which place it should be loaded. Here I want to do and to load it. Okay, so now I want to do and to load it, that things in here. Great, perfect. So all the data I pass with the dish. Now we have to get that props data. We have to get this props data in our which component? That is a dish details component. That means here now we have to create some of the mapping, and here we have to load all the data. So how can do that work better? I want to do and to continue this process. In our next video I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.